would be a valedictorian, there would be salutatorians, there would be speakers. This year, it was one person we were asking to represent the whole entire class. He's someone who's been with us for 3 years. Last night, he shared his journey amazingly with us. He came as a 10th grader, although he thought he was an 11th grader. He then had 12th grade, and he then actually had 12th grade. He was the leader of the basketball team in that he was a captain, not because he was the most talented player, naturally, but he's someone who set a goal for himself that I want to work. I want to make myself the best player out there. I want to be the best player that I can be. As a 10th grader, he was already being involved and being part of every single tournament. There was a running joke in yeshiva last year. If there was ever anything owed for a tournament, obviously one of the people receiving the prize would be Usher Ackerman, because he was involved in every single tournament. He's someone who set goals for himself and then just worked and pushed himself to accomplish that goals. Whether it was in learning, we're pushing Rabbi Ross and others to be chavrusas, whether it's in davening, our gabbai, being there day in, day out, every single morning, making sure that the davening runs smoothly, choosing who gets the aliyahs, who can use a pick-me-up, schmoozing with guys on the side, waking up parts of his dorm, just getting other guys involved. So I'd like to ask Usher Ackerman to come up and say a few words.
Mazel tov to all my friends who are my fellow graduates. This is an amazing day for all of us. I'm so proud that we're all here. I want to thank all the Rebbeim and dorm counselors for being there for us, for being there for me and my classmates since day one. You all do so much for us. You're literally lifesavers. For me personally, I want to give a special thanks to Rabbi Mallinger and Rabbi Russ for helping me through a lot of difficult situations over the last 3 years. You guys are the reason I'm here today. I'm going to be honest, because it's one of the things that our Rebbe pushes the most. I am super nervous, so please laugh if you think if there's a joke, and please clap at the end, even if you don't think I did a good job. So I'm basically saying, don't be so honest with me unless I do a good job. When Rabbi Kalish asked me to speak, I obviously went to YouTube for some help. I wanted to see how other speakers described their high school experience and how their class grew from it. I was surprised to see that they talked more about their future after high school and not the growth and experience of their years in school. Let's talk about the growth and resilience of the class of 2020. We started in 10th grade, and don't worry, I asked Rakesh if I could say the L word, so don't judge. 12th grade we began in Laurelwood. I personally wasn't there, but one of the cool things about yeshiva is that even the guys who came this year understand the past struggles and triumphs. We go through everything together. In 11th grade, it got a little worse. We were thrown from our home in Durham for 2 months. For me, that was a scary time. I was depressed. I wasn't religious as I wanted to be, but with the incredible help of Rabbi Yanofsky, we were able to get back home, and we finished off the year strong as a grade and as a yeshiva. And then came 12th grade. We had a ton of amazing additions to this year, and we were off to an unbelievable start. By the time Hanukkah came around, I was convinced this was going to be one of the best grades in yeshiva's history. Over the next 2 months, we really bonded as a shiur, and the final push began. But then, it happened. We were told we couldn't go back to yeshiva after Purim. For almost everyone, this was too hard to handle. For me, it was very hard, but I have a close relationship with my family, so I was able to push myself to stay on a good schedule. And I sort of did, sometimes. But not everyone had it so easy. Baruch Hashem, guys came through and helped each other out. Nachli Scar, for instance, had someone over for a few weeks and literally saved his quarantine. Another example of the brotherhood in yeshiva is that every off Shabbos, all the out-of-town guys always had a place to stay. But those are just a couple of examples of times when someone in our yeshiva stepped up and helped another person get through a challenging situation. Why is that so common here? Because that's just what we do. We're taught to care for one another, and with a shiur like this, it really wasn't so hard. I made friends to last a lifetime, and that's no exaggeration. But I still do want to talk about the future, but from the perspective of what I gained from yeshiva, The ideas we've been taught and the examples we've seen from our Rebbeim over the years are not just for our years in yeshiva, They're to help us navigate all the obstacles in life. I want to thank Rabbi Kalish for creating a warm and loving atmosphere, which allows every Rebbe to be there for the guys no matter what's going on. The way the Rebbeim connect with us is really on another level, and it's all thanks to our Rebbe, the Rav. And to all the guys. Thank you for making this the best 3 years of my life. I'll never forget the amount we've grown together and the relationship we made. We make the yeshiva what it is, and we made it great. Lastly, and certainly no way, shape, or form least, I want to thank my parents. My father's over there, my mother's over here. I want to thank my parents for providing an amazing home for me, for my brothers and I. You've always been there for us through all ups and downs. And in return, I provided you with some very tough times, like when I got kicked out of 8th grade, and then I got kicked out of 10th grade. But you never gave up on me, and now we're here. Thank you. I love you.